Oh, hey there. Are you cold? Because I am like freezing right now. The temperature outside is 67 degrees Fahrenheit, and the temperature in Antarctica right now is negative 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a 99 temperature degrees Fahrenheit difference. I've always been interested about Antarctica, and I think that it's pretty cool. And I hope by the end of this speech, you'll think it's pretty chill too. So first, I want to tell you about some Antarctic history. So a long time ago, we had this supercontinent called Pangaea, or what they think is what happened. So here's what it was like. Used to be, people think it used to be a giant rainforest because you can find oil there, but they think, so it was 90 million years ago, it was a rainforest. The first people who ever stepped foot there were American sealers in search for sea lions. They were trying to get sea lion pelts and so they can sell them. And they were only there for like 30 minutes, but they were the first people there. And the first people to actually set like a base there were the Russians. In 1878, they made a research center there to study different things, which I'll talk about next. But yeah, and there's no natives to Antarctica because it's very cool. So next I'm going to talk about some geography of this place, Antarctica, and I'll give you a picture. And temperatures there. So Antarctica has a lot of mountains. It's a lot of like mid-mountainous, hilly ice cliffs, and it's a terrible place to live. And they have a lot of ice lakes. They call them lakes, but they're just ice. And according to livescience.com, the average thickness of the ice is 2 kilometers thick, but the biggest one, like the thickest one, is 4 kilometers. And that's a lot of ice. So it's kind of scary. And they crack, so people can get stuck like in the cracks. Like if you're like walking, trying to like study stuff, you could fall in the crack and then get stuck, which might be good. So to the temperatures, which I talked about a little bit in the beginning, but the average temp is negative 71 degrees Fahrenheit. So right now it's a little bit warm in Antarctica. And that's according to National Geographic. Also according to National Geographic, the time that it's like the warmest is when the sun's at the peak, like at noon, but then it gets warmer on the coast because it's closer up, it's like farther up the equator. But it's warmer on the coast, and that's normally around like negative 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So next I'm going to talk about what people do in Antarctica and its flag and just other people there. So we mainly use Antarctica to get ice core samples to try to figure out what it used to be like a long time ago before global warming, which is kind of happening right now. So we're trying to figure out what life was like a long time ago, and they use it to study astronomy, which that was what the first Russian base was made for, to study astronomy, so you can look at the stars from a different angle, so you can see them from the southern hemisphere. They do also do that in southern Australia, but it's just better in Antarctica. And the flag, it has had tons and tons of versions in the past, but the one that they use right now was made in 2018, and that is what it looks like. So like this symbol, the diamond, you see that a lot on like Antarctic stuff. So yeah, it was made in 2018, and the people there, there's no one that like original natives there, so about 4,000 people come in the summer, which you gotta think their seasons are opposite to us. So right now we're in the fall, so they're in their spring right now. So they're about to head into their summer where it's gonna be warmer for them because they're in the southern hemisphere. And in the winters, so our summers, there's around 1,000 people, so there's not as many people there. And there's a little coastal village because most people live on the coast because it's just easier to access like their food and supplies, and when people come in, that's just where they go. And the most common language spoken there is Russian. Next, I'm going to be talking about some foods. The most popular kind of food is seafood because they live on the coast, and that's just easier. It's easier to get that. And they eat a lot of shellfish there because clams are really common. So there's some great fish, and those are the kind of clams that they eat like all the time. Sounds really gross. Anyway. anyways, next I want to talk about two of the most popular kinds of animals you find in Antarctica. There's a whole bunch, but these are the most like, common ones. So penguins, the emperor penguin is their national bird or national animal and like everything. That's their favorite thing there. And so the emperor penguin is their most popular. So he's talking about penguins in general. They eat fish, krill, and squid as their main diet. They also eat some like underwater vegetation if they can find any because it's really rare there. But they can weigh from 2 pounds to 88 pounds. So those are hefty penguins. they're chunkers. And those are the 88-pound ones are more likely the emperor penguins because they're bigger, and then the little puffins are going to be smaller. And then we got seals, and seals eat squid, fish, and even penguins. So it's kind of sad, but they're chunkers. They weigh from 660 pounds to 770 pounds, depending if they're male or female. Normally the males weigh more than the females. And their favorite food is penguins, which is kind of sad. I guess if they're that chunky, I guess I would eat them too. So now I'm going to talk about the currency that they use. They use the Arctic dollar, also known as the EMP down there, named after their national bird, national animal, the emperor penguins. So they call them the EMPs. And here's what it looks like. Here's a picture of what a dollar looks like with a whole bunch of penguins on it. And then there's a coin. So, yeah, and most of it, like, this is like the American version, but then there's Russian too. So next I'm going to talk about some tourism, different ways you can travel there. So the most popular way is a medium-sized cruise ship, and that's going to run you up about $20,000 to $40,000 American dollars, which is a lot of money just to go to Antarctica. So it's expensive. And a cheaper way you can go is an air cruise, and that costs anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. So still pretty expensive. So there's like what a cruise ship looks like, and then they have little boats on the side that they drop down, and then you can like go explore like the coastal villages. And then there's what a plane would look like that you could take. It's very expensive. So there are many ways that you could travel to Antarctica, but they're all going to cost you like a lot of money, and they're going to be long trips though. So yes. So in conclusion, I hope you learned some pretty chill facts about Antarctica. Like if Antarctica never existed, neither would 70% of our freshwater ice, which that's a lot. And if you want to travel to Antarctica, you better come up with some serious cash because it's going to cost you a lot of money. Or serious M's after that. If this speech made you interested in Antarctica, you should look up some more facts to figure out what else is down there because there is a lot of different things I didn't talk about. Anyway, I hope you have a chill rest of your day.